kind of become a coach. I become a cheerleader. I'm an enabler for other people to do their work. And that's been my strength for a long time. Even before I came to Center, that was my understanding. And I think I occasionally have a good idea, but I expect other people to have better ideas than I have. And I don't keep score a lot as to who had the best ideas, or whether am I winning or am I second. I don't care about that kind of stuff. I just care about advancing the cause of the organization of which I'm a part, and I'm pretty good at that.
Okay, John.
Yeah, just to follow that question up. So I know this depends on situation and people, but would you say you're more task-oriented or people-oriented?
Oh, I'm more people-oriented. Yeah, I mean, I just, task is important. You have to have your eye on sort of the prize, and the prize may be to make sure we have an enrollment count that works for the institution, or if we're building a building, that we do something that really is kind of wonderfully functional and beautiful and environmentally conscious all at once, so it's not just about one thing. So there's lots about things about task, but at the end of the day, for me, it's all about the people. I would not do what I do if it weren't really for the opportunities I have to interact with the men and women I work with most closely, the students I get to know and watch their lives change and watch them come up with good ideas that need to be executed. So it's all about people for me.
Yeah, well, I know that sometimes when we're asked to describe what type of leader we are, we're also asked to tell if we see any weaknesses in ourselves as a leader. Do you, you said you see yourself as a visionary, and I know that sometimes that comes to some people a weakness of not seeing what's happening now, or maybe not being there's the leader, encourage the heart, or the nurturing leader. Do you, do you see anything?
If there's two things that I recognize in myself, and first, almost everything that's a strength is also a weakness. I mean, understand that. That's a part of the human condition. Those things that you call off as a weakness, you flip it, and you can now actually define it, I think, as a strength. But let me call off two things that I know are problematic for me as a leader. One is, at my core, I'm an unabashed optimist. I think everything's going to work out. I think that good will always prevail. That the best idea will win. And I know intellectually that's not true, but at my core, and I can tell you that wears people out. I mean, I just have to tell you there are some people that tire of I know that may sound like, well, gosh, John, I don't understand what you're saying, but I've come to understand that sort of my sense of optimism, of being able to turn almost anything back into a victory, is tiring for people. At times they just, they almost want to say, hey, John, let me be negative. Well, I have a hard time letting people do that. And so that is actually a strength, but because of kind of who I am, I know that tires people, that they would wish that for a little less of that. And the other part of it is, I've been blessed with good health and a kind of a boundless energy, and I've had that since I was a little kid. And I know that I don't. Susie and I, we're up till about 2 o'clock at night. I don't call people at night. Actually, there's times I thought, I would give so and so a call. It's 10:30. I don't do that. There are leaders who do. I've made a choice not to do that. I'm not going to wear other people out because of some predispositions I had to needing about 5 hours sleep a night. And I know that there are some leaders that do that, and they have to be careful not to be over exuberant about their ideas or their work or the way in which they treat people. I mean, in almost all things, I'm trying to seek balance, and I know that in some ways the life that Susie and I lead in terms of what we accomplish in the course of a 24-hour day, that's not something I should impose on other people, and I don't. But I'm tempted, but I don't.
All right. Well, I think you hit every one of our points. So
That's it?
yes.
No.
That'll do
Well,
it.
let me say 3 other things about leadership that you should know about me, and I think it relates even to sort of the Bonner organization. One is I take what I do real seriously. I don't take myself very seriously at all. I mean, I truly don't. our boys who are now 34 and 31, when I first got this job, they said, "Dad, do they know who you are? Do they understand who you are?" And I said, "Well, I think they do, boys. That's pretty transparent." And so I take what I do, my job, I take real seriously. I don't take myself very seriously at all. And that gives me a great freedom, which takes me to my second point. What I do and the position I hold does not define who I am. I figured out when I was I was older than you guys, but not a whole lot older, that what really made a difference in my life was to be a part of making a difference. So you can do that as a college president, you can do that as a high school teacher and coach, as a minister, as somebody who does a great job working in a hotel. I mean, if you're committed to doing your job well and making a difference, then title and how much one makes and where they live, it's not very important. And so what defines me is being in a position where I can make a difference. Not the title I have or the car I drive or none of that stuff. And I'm married to a woman who understands that too. So I don't have that, there's a lot of couples where the pressure is coming really from the other direction. They'd be fine with a simpler life, but their spouse or partner wouldn't. Well, Susie is. I mean, we sometimes laugh about even living in Craig House. What are we doing here? And it's not what we talked about back when we were, in college together. And then the third thing I would say is in all of my work, I've always felt blessed. Now, my life has had some tough moments, but none of them really tough. I mean, I have led a blessed life. And I know that, and I'm thankful for that. I don't take that for granted. I know that could change. But there is a real sense in blessing in all that I do. And so, and a lot of times this doesn't seem like work, guys, for me. It's an opportunity that I'm thankful to have, that I don't think I deserved. I don't think I earned it. I've been given that. And again, all that kind of takes me back around. I feel tremendous freedom in the work that I do. I don't have to be, in a worldly sense, I don't have to be successful. I like being successful, but I don't have to be. And that's enough. Hey, may I keep these?
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah, I'd like to have some fun with this.
Sure.
I'm familiar with the labels. I'm not sure I've ever seen all the bullets laid out. That's helpful.
It's referred to as a leadership compass. With the directions.
I'm familiar with the compass, but the one I'm looking at, I don't think I had, or maybe you guys have done some editing on these bullets. That's helpful. Rather than this, some people would turn this into a 200-page book.
Yeah.
I like turning it into about a 2-page summary. So now,